Welcome back to another painting session, or rather tutorial, because now I am going to teach you how to overlay planets, how to have a planet over a planet. And I'm going to have the setup of a big planet over here with a little moon right over it, kind of like this. And the first thing I'm going to do first is to the moon. There's two ways in which you can do this. You can use 4 stencils like this, make it here, and make the stencil over here, like that. Or you could have a hollow stencil, where you make the big planet first, and you use the hollow stencil, which is there's a piece of paper with this size hole inside of it. You place it here, and then you have the planet right there, or moon in this case. I'm just going to move these out of the way. Now, if you see the color, it is indicative of the color theme of today's painting session. That is pink. I'm going to have a little bit of orange and yellow in there as well, as I can't fit every color when just doing the little stencil spray over. But yes, it is going to be a bit of pinks, magentas, and a top layer of oranges and yellows, which I think is going to be a beautiful blend. I've done it before, and I have high expectations of what this may be. Now, I'm going to start with the moon right here, and I'm going to get 1 can of spray paint that I missed. Give me a moment. Alright, here I am. And that color was just black for the shading. I'm going to have a lighter tints here. I'm going to have some light pink, light yellow, but mainly tan and the black shade. So more dull and gray colors for the moon, as many moons are, and much more vibrant colors for the planet, which will be the showcase. Now let me get these planets or the colors set up first. Oh, there's another color that I missed. Give me a moment. I do apologize for that. What a bad teacher am I, to not be prepared for my own lesson. But here I am regardless. Now I have other lessons that I do highly encourage you all listen to and watch as I go over and discuss many more factors of spray painting, as I have not done and will not do in this one. This one will be mainly focused on color theory of what I use in spray paint and how to lay out and place your stencils, and if you place them right, you can have good depth and dynamics with different planets or moons. A planet and moon dynamic in this case. But dual planets and overhead, over, under. I do plan to do a moon under in this case, but there's an under planet and over planet, so I'm not going to go both in this painting. So first, I'm going to have some yellows here. I'm going to have some pinks over here. I'm gonna mix them in between, kind of like that. I'm gonna have some coral here, which is a bit of orange, a bit more yellow. And a bit more pink. After that, I'm going to have my high tint. That is going to be some light tan. So I'm going to bring this out and spray it over. There we go. Here I have some newspaper, of which I'll also showcase how to use your newspaper in a good way to make adequate texturing for a moon or a planet. Something I have not done as of yet. So there's 2 things you can do when making a moon. You can have a flat piece of newspaper like this. I use thin and dry newspaper, things you'd see in big books. Or you can crumple it like this, is what I'm going to do, but still have it relatively flat. Press it up against your chest or the ground like this to make it so. So you have something like this. a bit more fractured. Now I'm going to wet this, not a lot, but enough. And I'm going to have it like this. The light's going to come from here. I'm going to have a good spray over and design that will match that. And here we go, maybe just a little bit more character up top. There we go. More on the bottom. There we go. That's looking good, doesn't it? All right. Now it's time for the shading. Now shake your can up, not a lot, but enough. Have some few pre-sprays and get to spraying. At first I'm going to have the stencil over to know where I should be spraying. It should be about here. I'm going to get something that will help me to know where I should spray at a good angle to remind me. Right here. I'm going to have a little bit different color here, as black was a bit too harsh. I'm just going to have a different cap here. Oops, dropped it. Got it back. When you're making shading, you want very fine sprays. Like that. I'll have it over again. That's good. Now I'm going to have gloss coat over to finish and to make it a bit more vibrant. There we go. Yep. And with that done, I will pause the video here. And when I come back, this will be fully dry and I'll put the stencil right on it to teach you how to place your weights and your stencil. I'll be right back. And now I'm back. And here I got myself my little box or whatever this is of weights to use for all of this. So I'm going to lay this down here. Now I'm going to lift it up for you to see. You might see a here we go, the line here, and when it gets to that line, it's not as dark as it would be over here, the little pickets, no sparseness of the paint. I don't want that, so I'm going to have over a point so it's not all the way on that dark edge like that. Once I have it done, I will place my weights. You might be noticing that these are not very big weights, as they should not be, as no matter how dry you think your painting is, especially when you're doing spray painting, never put big weights on a stencil. It's always a good preventative measure to not risk the stencil sticking to your paint, as if it were to do so, that paint would peel and it would ruin your painting. It's always better to take preventative measures than try to fix what has already been broken. But that's just for me. So once I have this down, I'm going to get the big planet up and going. So I'm going to have, like I said, more vibrant and deeper colors. So I'm going to start with some magenta. Now, as you see me lay this color on, you might notice that I have a higher density of this color here than over there. That is because I will have the darker colors on the bottom left and the lighter colors on the top left or top right. And when I have this, I'm starting above here, but I'll still have a tiny bit here, tiny bit over to have some blending. But having better concentration up top, but still enough to save for the very light pink. Once I have that down, I will start with other colors, notably my oranges and yellows. my darker orange will go on the bottom here. And go all the way up, making it more sparse on the top. I'll refer to this as the top, and this is the bottom. And have my lighter oranges up top. But still enough where you could still see some pink here. Because I'm going to put some of the yellows there. There you go. These yellows will serve as a top tint and top layering and shade for this planet. It'll look very nice when I'm done with it. And hopefully, if you're doing this alongside me, hopefully it's looking nice for you too. If it's not, practice always makes perfect. I didn't just start today. I've been at this a few months, almost a whole year now. I think it's time for me to get a new can of this. Give me a moment, real quick. Okay, now I have this. I sprayed here. Make it look all nice. All right, once done, I'm gonna take my newspaper and fold it like this. Okay, I'm gonna wet it a bit, like that. There we go. Once I have this, I will unfold it if it lets me. There you go. And lay it down like this. I'll move this weight out of the way and move this. And so I have space and a fairly flat surface to work on. Let me just see if this is enough space. I'll extend it over here just for a safe measure. But all in all, it should be just fine. And let me just peel that off. All right, très bien. Very good. Good character on the bottom end of the top. Gonna make sure that this is blended well and textured well as it reaches its moon, even if it will have quite a bit of shading there. Okay, get that. Okay, I'm gonna have a bit more gloss here while I have some more texturing. Not enough gloss, and it will stick a tiny bit to the newspaper, causing it to rip a tiny bit. But that's fine, you can always remedy this by having some gloss coats, like I have right here. Trust your gloss coat. It'll solve almost all your sticking problems. Okay. One more right there. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Alright. I'll put this away and get my shading done. Once I have that done, I will just wait and I'll put the final stencil on. But just like before, I'm going to have the stencil over so I could pinpoint where I want the shading to be. So I have it over here, so the shading will be arching around this. Okay, here we go. Maybe over this planet just in case. There we go. See, it melds in, has it dark over here, full saturation of the dark brown, and then it shifts over to the light. That's what you want. A beautiful seamless transition of a good blend of the shading into your texturing of your planet or moon or whatever thing you're making with this. That is what you're really going for. No spattering, no excessive paint, nothing like that. Just this. Really, really good. I can't really say the same for the moon, but we'll see what that looks like at the end. But this is looking pretty good. So, just like the moon, I'm going to take a pause, wait for this to dry up. Once done, I'm going to start again, put the stencil on just like this, and then we'll get ready to make the space around it. And after that, curtain call. See you there. And now I'm back again. And again, I have my little box of weights to put the stencil on and weigh it down. First, I'm going to take these off to give some space. I'm still going to keep the stencil on, but I'm going to have this over it, like so. Just like that. Lift this up a little bit to see how it looks. Yeah, very good. Put it back down and put the weights on. I'm going to have more weights than I had the small one, of course. And just like before, I'm not going to do any heavy weights, as to not risk any sticking to my stencils. And that is the last thing I want. Now you could use normal weights. I am quite fortunate that I got these from a scrapyard. If you have a local one, then and they don't really care much if you take it, just like mine, then feel free to take some. Like I said before, don't pick any big ones. Small ones will do just fine, just like these. Okay, I'm gonna have a bit more weights over here. That should be good enough. Just make sure that these weights don't go over the stencil, as you don't want that either. If it goes over the stencil, then you're gonna have, let's say if I have it like this, you're going to have a spot where it looks like this around. You're not gonna color it fully, and you don't really want that. So I'm just gonna get a few cans of paint. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm going to color this a Kona brown, a reddish brown. It wouldn't be a lot. So let me just lay this down. What I'm using here is Rust-Oleum's new type of spray, where they have multiple types of settings. I don't plan to use this a lot, and so I only have one can, and it was only available in this cap, as I like the normal caps myself. It allows for a bit more dexterity, and I get to choose a better path for it. Something that 5 options simply won't do. But they also make vertical and horizontal lines, so they do come in handy. Now I'm just going to have some darker bits here, but not as fully dark as the shading. Just dark enough. That should be good. Now for the stars. Give me a moment while I get my glove. Here we go. Whenever you're making stars or comments like I'm going to do, always make sure you have proper equipment, like gloves. Never do it with your bare hands, as spray paint is very, very difficult to get off of your hands. So always take the preventative measure of wearing a glove. It's much, much safer. So, like I always do, I spray on my middle finger, as that is how I flick the hardest. I spray it on that finger, and I pre-flick it on a piece of cardboard, and I have a good distance away so the air can cut the little stars that I flick off the finger, and all of that goes onto the canvas. The pre-flicking allows me to get all of the big globs off, and painting a good distance away furthers that initiative by cutting the bigger ones still left. You want distant stars, not big globs. So always try to take some time to do this, even if it takes a while. It will look much better in the long run, trust me. And you'll see right here why what I am saying is true. So once I have that, I won't have comments this one. I've done them enough on the other tutorials. Once you have this used up, you hold it by the end, and then you pull. So you don't have to touch the paint covered fingers of the glove. Alright, and with that all said and done, it's time to remove the weights and for the final evaluation to see if we did good or not. But I feel quite confident that this is a piece that I should be quite proud of. Though I am anticipating the moon to be a bit spotty, the planet itself should be perfectly fine. Alright. Truth be told, the stencil lifting, what I'm about to do, is always my favorite part, as you never really know if something is going to be good or not until you lift it off. Just like that. So now, let us see if this beautiful little planet's moon looks just as good as it does. Come on. Hopefully it's not sticking. It does not. See? Very good. I'll have these stencils to the side here. Okay. Now I'm going to have a clear coat and have my initials here, and then we'll have the final evaluation. Right. Now, I just put in my initials, and then we'll be all done. Little signature here. Nice and quaint. Put it back where it belongs. And now it's all done. See? Not that bad, is it? And if you have been painting alongside me, then I would very much enjoy if any of you would send me the link if you made a video. Like show me the picture through Instagram, Facebook, website if you have it, as I would love to see if y'all have tried your hands at it. It doesn't have to look as good as this, but the effort itself that you have painted alongside me is good enough for me. So I'm going to lift this up so you all may see. Where is the best place? Here. Alright. Now, we lift this up. I'm going to maneuver the camera so I can see it a bit better. Or you can see it a bit better. We start at the top. Good stars. A good seam for the planet start. I can't really get it that close without tilting it like this, but that's what I'm going to have to do. Because I really want y'all to have a good close-up of it all. Especially here, you see those little dots, those little dark dots there? You don't want that. It's a bit of a shame for me to say or to show that the shading is that bad. So, unfortunately, that's what it looked like. If it didn't look like that, then it would look spot on, but it did not. So, it is a bit of an embarrassment to me. But all in all, this planet is very good. And as I was saying in the beginning of the video, I would be showing you color theory. That is because even though pink and yellow and orange seem to be very different, if you combine them in just the right way, with an intermediary of tan, very light tan, then you can make a very brilliantly neon blazing planet. That's not what I'm going to call it, but whatever, it suits your fancy. I don't know what I'm going to call this type of color blend, if it even has a name. It most likely does, but I did not do the research to know. I just know that it does look cool, and hopefully you all think it looks cool, and hopefully you all think the painting looks cool, and the video you watched looked cool, just like I think it does. And again, I hope that all of you have enjoyed tonight's painting session and tutorial of how to overlay planets, having a moon in front of a larger planet. If you have, then please take some time out of your day to like the video, comment down below what you like, what you don't like. And if you like what I do, spray painting videos, tutorials, and big paintings sometimes if you're lucky, which I post every single day, along with the mainline videos like this one, and the short video of the video prior, the day right after. Just like there will be a shorts video of this one, of this painting right here. And it will be posted the day after, as I have said before. But if you like what I do, you could also subscribe to the channel, always be notified every single day of what I am up to. And with that out of the way, I'll have final farewells. Again, I hope that all of you have enjoyed tonight's painting session, and until next time, whatever painting I may be making, I hope that all of you accompany me for that painting session, whenever and whatever it might be about. Bye bye. See you next time.